Zombies, once thought to exist only in folklore and horror movies. But what if the cameras have already captured proof of the impossible? From eerie animals behaving like the undead, to humans caught on tape defying death itself. Tonight, we'll count down the scariest zombie encounters ever recorded on camera, ranked from the least to the most terrifying. Number 10. It looks like an ordinary fox wandering in the snow, until it reaches a glass window. What happens next is unsettling. The animal presses its mouth against the surface, stretching its jaw unnaturally and dragging its tongue across the glass. It's not attacking. It's not even trying to escape. It just repeats the strange motion, almost as if it isn't fully aware of what it's doing. Some call it a confused reaction to its reflection, but others saw something darker. A predator stripped of instinct, reduced to erratic, mindless behavior. And in that moment, it was no longer just a fox. To those watching, it looked like something else entirely. A zombie. Number 9. In the middle of a parking lot, a crow is caught on camera. At first it looks like any other bird, until you notice the details. Its head is twisted to the side, its eyes rolled white, and its beak hangs open as if frozen mid-scream. The body doesn't move naturally, it just stands there, stiff, like life has already left it. For those watching, the image was impossible to ignore. This wasn't a predator hunting or a bird resting. This looked like a creature caught between life and death. Some call it a simple injury, others say it was stunned. But to the people who filmed it, there was only one way to describe what they saw. A crow that looked like a zombie. Number 8. Beneath the shallow water of a rocky stream lies what should be a dead salmon. Its body is battered, its flesh pale, and its eyes completely gone, leaving only empty sockets. But then, it moves. The fish twitches, its mouth opening and closing, its body shifting against the current, as if something inside refuses to let go. To anyone watching, it doesn't look alive, and yet, it isn't fully dead either. Some say it's just the final reflexes of a dying animal, but to others, the sight of an eyeless salmon writhing long after its body has given up is something else entirely. It's the image of a creature caught between two worlds, a true vision of the undead. Number 7. A dinner table, plates filled with food, and suddenly something unexplainable. On one of the dishes, a raw piece of chicken begins to twitch. Slowly it stretches forward, then jerks violently, sliding off the plate and dropping to the floor. There's no head, no brain, nothing that should make it move. And yet, the meat behaves as if it still has a will of its own. Some claim it was just leftover nerve activity, the muscles firing one last time. Others suspect a trick, strings pulling the flesh to create the illusion of life. But for those who watched the footage before it vanished from the internet, the sight of meat crawling off a plate like it was alive was enough to call it by one word: zombie. Number 6. Inside a supermarket, surveillance cameras capture an ordinary shopper. She picks up a package of raw meat. Nothing unusual, but then she tears it open. Without hesitation, she brings the raw flesh to her mouth and begins to eat. No cooking, no preparation, just cold, bloody meat, consumed like she's starving for it. The other shoppers keep moving, unaware of what's happening just a few feet away. But to those who later saw the footage, the scene was unforgettable. A normal woman in a normal store, suddenly acting like something no longer human. Some dismiss it as a mental breakdown. Others believe it was staged. But for many, this moment felt like a glimpse into something darker. A flash of what the first stages of a real-life zombie apocalypse might look like. So far, we've seen strange animals, disturbing behavior, and chilling footage that blurs the line between life and death. But the next 5 cases take us even deeper, into the territory where fear turns into nightmare. These are the encounters that feel truly impossible to explain. Number 5. It begins with a flashlight cutting through the brush at dusk. Out of the darkness, a deer emerges. But something is horribly wrong. Its head hangs sideways, twisted at an angle that no living creature should survive. The neck looks broken. Yet the animal moves calmly, chewing leaves as if nothing has happened. Then, it runs. With unnatural ease, the deer bolts into the night, its head still lolling lifelessly against its body. For hunters, for wildlife experts, even for casual viewers, the sight was unbearable. This wasn't just an injured animal. It looked like a corpse walking on borrowed time. And in that moment, the forest became the stage for something no one expected to see, a deer that looked less alive and more like the undead. Number 4. This time, there is no shaky camera, no viral clip. Instead, the terror comes from history itself. In the rural corners of Haiti, for centuries, people have whispered about the zombie, not monsters from movies, but men and women taken from their graves, robbed of their will, and forced to walk again. According to Vodou tradition, a powerful sorcerer known as a boko could capture a soul at the moment of unnatural death. The body would then rise, empty, obedient, a shell of the person it once was. For outsiders, it sounds like folklore, but researchers, including scientists like Wade Davis, have investigated real cases of supposed zombies, people who were buried only to return days later, alive but changed. No footage exists to prove it, no photo can settle the debate, but the fear in Haiti is not of the walking dead themselves, it's of becoming one, a fate worse than death, to lose your soul and live on as a zombie. Number 3. The first clip looks like something out of a nightmare. In the ruins of an abandoned house, a figure emerges. Its skin clings to the bones, its ribs exposed, its movements stiff and unnatural. It doesn't stumble like a drunk. It walks with purpose, like a corpse refusing to stay down. But the second recording is even more disturbing. In 2022, in India, an ambulance became the stage for something terrifying. From behind the fogged windows, silhouettes thrash violently, pressing their hands against the glass. Inside, figures appear to bite and claw at each other, spreading chaos like an infection caught on tape. Skeptics call it fake, a setup for the internet. But to those who witnessed it, and to the millions who later saw the clips online, the images looked far too real. Not one, but 2 moments that made people question the impossible. Were we watching desperate survivors, or the first true zombies caught on camera? Number 2. In 2017, officers in Latin America responded to a late-night call. A young woman was detained and placed in the back of a police patrol vehicle, but what happened inside left them shaken. The camera shows her twisting violently, her movements jerky and unnatural, as if her body was no longer her own. Her voice changes, spilling out in guttural sounds and an unknown language, echoing against the metal walls of the truck. The officers stare, powerless, unsure if they are watching a medical crisis or something far darker. To some, she was possessed. To others, she was showing the first signs of a real-life transformation, her body fighting against something no human should survive. Her fate after that night remains unknown, but the images captured on that patrol truck have haunted viewers ever since. Because for the first time, it didn't look like a story. It looked like a human being turning into a zombie. We've reached the final case. After animals behaving like the undead, strange footage, and terrifying human encounters, this last one is different. Because if it's real, it means the line between life and death has already been broken. Number 1. The story begins in the Middle East. A young influencer named Kid San suffered severe burns and was pronounced dead in the hospital. His passing was documented, his body prepared. But then, A video surfaced. Inside a hospital room, a man in a blue gown stands. His movements are slow, his posture stiff, his eyes vacant. He looks exactly like Kid San, the same man who was declared dead only hours before. Rumors spread quickly. Some claimed his organs had been removed. Others said it was a case of catalepsy or terminal lucidity. But the footage defies explanation. If it was staged, it's one of the most convincing hoaxes ever recorded. If it wasn't, then the world may have already witnessed the first true zombie caught on camera. And that is why this encounter remains, to this day, the most terrifying of all.